So Brahmana is not by birth, Brahmana is by quality. Now the point here is, many times people think, I am born in a Brahmana family and I become a Brahmana. No. If you are born in a doctor's family, do you become a doctor? If you are born in a lawyer's family, do you become a lawyer? No. So let us try to understand what exactly is this Brahmana. So Brahmana is not by birth, Brahmana is by quality. Now the point here is, many times people think, I am born in a Brahmana family and I become a Brahmana. No. If you are born in a Brahmana family and if you can become a Brahmana, that means the logic also applies to this. What it is? If you are born in a doctor's family, do you become a doctor? If you are born in a lawyer's family, do you become a lawyer? No. Yes, if you are born in a doctor's family, there is a wonderful facility, ambience to become a doctor, but you will be considered as doctor only when you get qualified, when you get that certificate that you are a doctor, MBBS, MD, whatever it is. So similarly, only when you get the qualification of a lawyer, then only you are considered as a lawyer. But just because you are born in a lawyer's family, doctor's family, you are not considered as a lawyer or a doctor. So my point is, you become a Brahmana not just because you are born in a Brahmana family, but you should actually get the qualification to become a Brahmana. Is it clear or little confusing? Let me give more clarity about it. Now, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita gives wonderful understanding about what is this Brahmana all about. So there is a beautiful verse which is from 4th chapter 13th verse. So if you open Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter 13th verse, it says, Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagashah tasya kartaram api mam vidya kartaram avyayam. So Krishna very beautifully explains Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam. So what is he saying? He is saying Chatur Varnam or Chatur Varna, or Chatur means 4 in Sanskrit. Varna means it is color or divisions. So the point here is, what exactly is Varna? Because this Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are all called as Varna. Why Varna is used? What is the meaning, literal meaning of Varna? So in Sanskrit, Varna means color. Confusing? Why Varna means color, then why in the Bhagavad Gita it is used for Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam? So here Krishna is saying, I am creating these 4 divisions of classifications of human being, based on what? Varna, color. Why the word color or Varna is used here? So Varna means color, that's why we use, for our India, our national flag is called as Trivarna Dwaja, 3-colored flag. So my point here is, Varna means color, then how color is actually connecting to human beings? Point is, it is connected to human beings. Why? Because color means it is not just a color of the skin, the color of the body, it is color of the mind. Meaning one's svabhāva. Color of the mind means one's svabhāva or one's nature. Like for example, there is a fight between 2 people and a person cheats, or generally people say, you will understand a person's nature only when you get name, fame, money. Once you get lot of money, the person's color comes out, real color comes out. Have you heard this? Yes. What is the meaning of this? Real color comes out means what? He has red color inside or blue color inside. Suddenly when he gets money, fame, color comes out. That is not the meaning. So the real color comes out of a person means the nature of the person comes out. That is the point here. So here Krishna is saying Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam I am actually created these 4 divisions based on what? Not based on birth, not based on jati, based on guna and karma. So guna means the qualities, the nature, the svabhāva of the person, and karma means the action, what kind of profession you are in. That is actually signifies what kind of person you are. So if you are a Brahmana, you can do only certain set of work or a profession. If you are a Kshatriya, you can do only certain kind of or certain set of professions. And if you are a Vaishya, you can do certain things. If you are a Shudra, you can do certain things. So by your quality, by your nature, by your svabhāva on one side, and by your action, by your profession, further classification is made. So if you want to understand what kind of person he is, whether a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, you need to see what kind of qualities he is exhibiting and what kind of profession he is into. So these 2 things, guna and karma, will decide what kind of person you are. So let us go a little further. So what are 4 Varnas? So Krishna is saying Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam. Very nice. But what are these 4 Varnas? As I said, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. And what are the qualities of a Brahmana? So Brahmanas are intellectual class of people. So Brahmanas are advisors, they are counselors, they are priests, they are teachers. They are always in the process of learning, they are always in the process of teaching, educating, enlightening. So these are all the important, there are so many qualities, I am just explaining few things, few important things. So these are all qualities of a Brahmana. And what are Kshatriyas? Kshatriyas are leaders, warriors, police, politicians, administrators and so on. And what are Vaishyas? Vaishyas are business people. They are farmers, they are merchants, they are always into business, making money, and they are completely into money. Artisans and workers or labor class people. So let us explore more details about these things. So now if you read Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter 42nd verse, you understand what are the qualities of Brahmana. So Krishna very beautifully explains śamo, damas, tapaḥ, śaucaṁ, kṣāntir, ārjavam, jñānaṁ, vijñānam, āstikyaṁ, brahma-karma, svabhāva-jam. So he is saying śama, dhamma, tapa, śaucaṁ, kṣāntir, ārjavam, jñānaṁ, vijñānam, āstikyaṁ, brahma-karma, svabhāva-jam. So let us go word by word and understand, because very important. So if you have any of these qualities, understand you are a Brahmana. So let us go word by word. First word, what Krishna is saying is śamaha. Śamaha means peacefulness. A Brahmana is always peaceful. He doesn't get unnecessarily agitated with people, with different situations. He is always peaceful, shanta, shamaha, that is shamaha. Basically, the meaning is he doesn't unnecessarily get involved in situations where it triggers, it provokes a person. He always tries to be away from this kind of politics or provoking situations and always try to remain peaceful, that is shamaha. And damaha. What is damaha? It is self-control. Self-control, mind control. Now this is one of the very important aspect of a Brahmana. So most of us in this world, what happens to us, like eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, all these senses, whatever eyes sees, it wants to have it. Whatever ears hear, it wants to have it. Whatever we see some beautiful form, we want to enjoy it. Any good eatable, we want to enjoy it. So these are all senses and the push of the senses and mind. But a Brahmana, he has control on his senses and on his mind. He doesn't let senses just run away. That is why a beautiful analogy, the Vedic scriptures they give like these 5 senses are compared to 5 horses. Like eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, all these 5 senses are like 5 horses. And there is a rein, or what you call a rope, which is connected to these 5 horses, and this rope is compared to mind. And a person, the chariot driver who is driving, he is called as intelligence. And we as passengers, we are sitting in this body. So the comparison is, this body is compared to chariot and 5 senses are compared to 5 horses. So in the chariot, the rope which is controlling these 5 senses are mind. And this rope is controlled by intelligence, buddhi. And a person, we as Atma, we are sitting in this body, the chariot, as a passenger. Now, as passenger, as Atma, we want to go and reach certain destination. That is, we want to purify and get mukti, moksha. So that is our goal, that is our destination. And for that, intelligence has to be trained to control the mind, and mind should control the senses. Hope you are getting the point. So now what is happening? These 5 horses or 5 senses has to be controlled by mind. If mind doesn't control these 5 horses, what happens? Each horse will go in different directions. Just imagine you are driving in a chariot and each horse is just running in different directions. Where do you think that the chariot lead to? Nowhere. So if you want your chariot to reach your destination, we have to make sure these 5 senses are controlled by mind, and mind is controlled by the intelligence, and intelligence has to be guided by the person who is a passenger. So he has to tell the intelligence what is his destination, and intelligence has to train or control the mind, and mind should control the senses. So our difficulty is what? Each senses wants to go in its own direction. Eyes want to see whatever it wants, ear wants to hear whatever it wants, so skin wants to touch whatever it feels very good. So, but a Brahmana doesn't allow these senses to just go and create chaos. So Brahmana, he is known for his self-control. That is why it is called damaha. So the next quality of a Brahmana is tapaḥ, austerity. So a Brahmana is known for tapasya. So the scriptures very beautifully explain that it is only, there are 84 lakh varieties of species. 8.4 million or 84 lakh varieties of species. Friends, in this 84 lakh species, there is only one person, one species, that is living entity, who has power to do tapasya, to control. So all other species, they do not have control, they live on the instinct. So animals live on the instinct. So like for example, animals, they feel hunger, immediately they want to go and eat something. But human beings can voluntarily fast. On an Ekadashi day, it is advised to fast, and human beings can fast. Even though there is a temptation from inside, you should have this, you should eat this, but a human being can say no to all these things. So this is tapasya, and a Brahmana is known for it. So among tapasya, there are so many things, like rising early in the morning. So before sunrise, if a person can rise or get up, wake up, it is very good for his health and all over his metabolism also. And he gets up early in the morning, he does meditation, yoga, and whatever, reads scriptures, hears scriptures and follows it, and he sleeps early in the night. So actually speaking, the Ayurveda explains very clearly that our life should be based on sun. The sun rises, we should also rise, and sun sets, we should also set. So that is the point. And a Brahmana does it perfectly. So that is austerity. Then śaucaṁ. Śaucaṁ means purity or cleanliness. So Brahmana means he is very good and he is very expert at maintaining purity, maintaining cleanliness. So wherever he is, And even if he is wearing some simple dress, it is always clean and tidy. And the place where he lives, that is also clean and tidy. And he always focuses on cleanliness. That is why it is said, cleanliness is next to godliness. If a person is godly, that means he has to be clean. If we are very dirty, then how can we sit and meditate? Because the place where I am sitting, surrounded by dirt, it is very unclean, untidy. So in that place, if I sit and meditate, I cannot focus. It is stinking, it is smelling. So this kind of situation is not favorable for practicing tapasya. So but Brahmana makes sure that he makes sure but a Brahmana makes sure that it is always clean and tidy. Then the next quality is kṣāntihi, meaning tolerance. So what is tapasya? There is a beautiful definition for tapasya. So tapasya means the ability to tolerate the provoking situation. So definitely in our life, every day, every week, every month, or wherever we are, so surrounded by people, there are lot of chances to get provoked. So in this provoking situation, do you have capacity to tolerate? If you are a Brahmana, you will have that power, that strength, that internal strength to tolerate the provoking situation. So this tolerance is also a very, very important quality of a Brahmana. So then ārjavam. So ārjavam means honesty. A Brahmana is always very, very honest. So he speaks the truth, and whatever he speaks, he will do it, and whatever he will do, he will speak about it. So that is the speciality of a Brahmana. And there is next quality of a Brahmana is jñānaṁ, knowledge. So Brahmana means he is always after knowledge. He is always ready to learn. He is always ready to teach, preach. So that's why I always say, first we need to do vichar. Vichar means vicharan. So we need to study, hear, and try to understand what exactly is this knowledge all about. So once we do vichar, then we should do achar. Achar means acharan, practice. We have to practice. So now we have done vichar, then we do achar, practice. So then we get realization. So with that realization, then we have to do prachar, meaning teaching or preaching. So 3 steps. What are the 3 steps? Vichar, achar, and then prachar. And a Brahmana is always ready to do anything. He is ready to sacrifice anything to do these 3 things: vichar, achar, and prachar. So many times what happens, people, they just want to do prachar, but they don't want to do achar. So now if a person is just doing prachar, he is just speaking, you should do good, you should do good, but internally he himself is not doing good things, then what happens? His prachar or his preaching will not affect the person. So a person, whoever is the audience who is hearing his talk, he will not get inspired, because whatever he is speaking is just lip service, but not coming from the heart. That is actually knowledge. So Brahmana is expert at always learning and teaching. Then jñānaṁ, then vijñānam. So what is vijñānam? So vijñānam is science, or we can also call it as wisdom. Have you ever thought what is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? So there is knowledge, and once with that knowledge we practice that knowledge, and then we realize that knowledge. So the realized knowledge is actually wisdom. Like for example, in science we call for water as H2O. So 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So this is theory, but when we practice it, so when we do it practically, so then our understanding, our conviction becomes very strong. Like similarly, as I was saying, a Brahmana means we should tolerate the provoking situation. So some situation comes in front of us and we tolerate. And when you tolerate this provoking situation, you get certain understanding. Because the scriptures very clearly says, don't get agitated, try to control yourself, try to control the provoking situations. And when we do that, then we get a realization, and that is wisdom. So the knowledge is, you should not get agitated and you should actually tolerate the provoking situation. That is knowledge theory, what we have heard. But when we practice it, when we implement it, then we get wisdom. So that's why I always say, just knowledge will not lead to transformation. Most of the people, they're just trying to grab and take knowledge so much, but just knowledge will not lead to transformation. Then what leads to transformation? The implementation of that knowledge leads to transformation. Just knowledge will not lead to transformation. So that implementation of knowledge leads to wisdom. That is the point here. So the next quality of a Brahmana is āstikyaṁ, astika. You have heard this word, astika and nastika. So āstikyaṁ means he is very religious. So whatever he is doing, he knows why he is doing what he is doing, and whatever he does it in connection to God and the Vedic scriptures. He doesn't just do whatever he feels like. So many times what happens in our life, whatever we feel like, we want to do. So that's why I always say, people, they get up in the morning and they don't know what to do. So they just come out of the house, they don't know where to go, whether it's right, left, right, left, right, left. They don't know where to go, what to do. So that's why I always say, so people get up and come out of the house, they don't know whether to go right, left, right, left, right, left. And finally they are left, which is not right. So that is the point here. So the next quality of a Brahmana is āstikyaṁ. As I said, he is very religious, and whatever he does it in connection to God. So these are the brahma-karma svabhāva-jam. So these are the beautiful qualification of a Brahmana which Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita. So thank you very much.